Hi, and welcome to Stu Stories, Episode 1 and Part 1 of Pop's story. If you were to look up cool in the dictionary, there would be a picture of my dad, our dad, Jerry Barton. Not the too cool for school kind of cool. I mean the best kind, the kind that everybody recognizes immediately. This is Pop's story. It starts in Hogansville, Georgia, in the shadow of the Uniroyal plant when he was born on November 7th, 1937. The plant had everything: a commissary for clothes, minimal health care, and a whole lot of dangerous products, mainly asbestos. They made so much of it that Dad and his buddies would gather it up and play with it. He even made little igloos out of it. Sounds pretty cool if you leave out the mesothelioma and the decades of removal and death. Well, that's where Granddaddy worked, and that's where Dad was stuck, running around barefoot, getting more frustrated by the minute, I'm quite sure. Dad had two brothers and two sisters. His oldest brother, Bill, was the coolest guy around. Sounded just like Bing Crosby. And a funny thing about my uncles, their names made no sense. Uncle Bill's real name was Harry Kendall Barton Jr., but everybody called him Bill. Uncle Bob's real name is William, and everybody calls him Bob. Can't explain it. Well, maybe it was the asbestos. Who knows? Well, Uncle Bill was in the Navy and stationed in California. One Christmas, he came home, and it became very clear to him that Dad needed out. Hogansville was not big enough for him. So somehow, some way, they convinced Granddaddy to let Dad go back to California with Bill and his wife Jean. That decision changed everything. Picture this: 1953-54, Santa Cruz, California, the original American beach town. Winding streets, eucalyptus, pine, cypress trees, ice plant blooming everywhere, and ocean breezes carrying the smell of California. Dude, and this is James Dean time. Cool cars, drag racing, surfing, and music. Incredible music. Elvis, Perry Como, Jerry Lee Lewis, so many more. Well, Dad enrolled at Santa Cruz High School, where one of his classmates was Robert Wagner, from Heart to Heart, even Spy Kids. This was the furthest Dad had ever been outside of Panama City. This was a different world, a place full of promise, people who believed anything was possible, no boundaries, just the Pacific Ocean stretching forever. And Dad soaked it all in. Well, when it was time to come home, Dad looked different. Gone were the Dickies and commissary shoes. He boarded the plane wearing blue jeans, a white t-shirt, and cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, bleached hair, carrying a ukulele. I haven't even told you about his singing yet, but that's another Stu story. Flights were different back then. His TWA flight went from San Francisco to Salt Lake to Denver, St. Louis, and finally Atlanta. Dad serenaded each flight with his voice and that ukulele, and I'm pretty sure he made a few bucks along the way. Coming home from Corvettes, T-Birds, and Bing Crosby to pickup trucks and old school country music, this was a culture shock. Maybe worse than when he first got to California. Now he knew exactly what he was missing. That didn't slow him down, not at all. He went right back to school, Hogansville High. Well, not for long. He got called into the office the first day and sent home for wearing jeans. Everyone else wore Dickies. Dad showed up in jeans. It caused such a stir, they sent him home. Hey, I've got 5 kids, ages 10 to 30, and what kids wear to school today would be considered pornography by comparison. But jeans? This was too much. Granddaddy raised hell at the school, and good for him. But Dad's confidence had to be sky high. His nickname became Tune because he was always singing. That confidence took him to LaGrange, a bigger town 13 miles away. And that's where he met Patricia Jo Hollis, our mom. He hitchhiked, jumped trains, did whatever it took to see her. She's got plenty of her own Stu stories, by the way, so I won't go off on a tangent here. But this is where everything really starts to change. That's where we'll end for now, because once Dad meets Mom, life gets real. Marriage, work, responsibility, and the beginning of a career that would touch more lives than he had ever imagined. If you'd like to follow me through these and other stories, please follow me on YouTube and Stu Stories. Thanks. Have a great day.